So I wanted to show you guys this community post because this is why I even started my YouTube channel, and I think some of you may find it interesting, so I wanted to share the story with you guys. For those that aren't interested in a little story time, they can just kind of click off here. But essentially, Rtings basically posted that the HDR10 Plus was included on the Hisense H9G, and you can find it in the manufacturer specs, and they don't know why it wasn't working on the H9G and like all this stuff. Like, you can read the original post that I posted here, and 52 people understand exactly what I'm saying here. It's a little odd that professional calibrators don't know that HDR10 is not the same thing as 10 plus, and that when somebody says Dolby Vision HDR, that's also not HDR10 plus. Big distinctions here. Not here to bash Rtings. I don't really care that much. What I am here to point out is why I do this, why I even mention that kind of stuff. People like Matt Jones. So Matt Jones is basically saying that, he gets that I'm upset and everything, but, that should be only essentially, in his words, basically when people are sponsored and they're paid and they're biased. And Rtings buys their own stuff to avoid all that. They're using they're not using hand-picked models. They're using instruments to perform tests to remain as objective as possible, people. Now, this is what bugs me, saying that they're basically consumer reports of the TV industry without any kind of like interest whatsoever, and that's just wrong, man. Now, of course, if you don't know this, I used to call out Rtings all the time. I've unlisted those videos, the same on Vincentio, the same on literally everybody else, because I'm not trying to give anybody a bad name here on YouTube, and I understand how frustrating it can be to see your face popping up on YouTube and to see a bunch of troll videos. I get that, and I'm not trying to be that guy, so, I bury those videos for their sake now, but back then I would have like droves of videos just showing fact after fact because it was annoying. Now, people like Matt Jones are the reason I do this, okay? Because for story time, back in 2015, I wasn't even interested in making a YouTube channel about TVs. I used to post all my video game play. I was just good doing that, doing created character tutorials and things like that. That's my passion. I love video games, right? But it took a turn for the worst when in 2015, I trusted rtings.com because as a professional calibrator, I heard that other professional calibrators dialed this TV in, they said this was good to go, and they said that it had good black levels, and so I bought the Sony X850C. I went through at least, hell, 6 or 7 of those units just to find out that it was garbage, right? And then throughout the years, I've made the correlation of them just saying that TVs were good when they weren't, and constantly running into that problem, having to lug things back up and down the stairs. And for those of you that don't know, this isn't a company line, okay? I have degenerative nerve damage. I do. And, for those that need to hear it, I'm going to reach in the back here, grab my damn pill bottle, okay? This is my life. My life is this fucking bottle here, okay? And it's really annoying because guys like Matt Jones really don't understand that they're not unbiased. They literally give you affiliate links on every single product, and it's called affiliate marketing. This matters because when you're trusting all those metrics and all that data, that is to provide a baseline, that's to create authority so that you trust what they're saying. But in reality, when you check, and when I've checked, they've been wrong on multiple things. And my callouts, specifically my callouts, have led to a few changes on their website. The first change is that back in the day, in like 2016, they used to review TVs solely off of native contrast. And I would point out how bogus that is because people are buying these local dimming TVs because they want to see a TV with local dimming. They're not going to turn it off and then rate the TV based off of the TV's clouding and all that other stuff because that Band-Aid does help. So after years of calling them out for that, shortly after, they put up a video, or not a video, a section where it shows with local dimming. And so finally they got it. And that, of course, happened once I started gaining a lot more traction, more subscribers started coming along, and I started making a name for myself, actually proving what I say. And then it started again with the same exact thing when we're talking about peak brightness, where Rtings would always rate TVs based off of just calibrated brightness, which is not a peak brightness test. And I showed that a peak brightness test is literally you testing the peak of a television's performance. And again, in similar fashion, once I did that, finally, after some time, it literally became a section on their website. So literally all the main things that I call out have made things better for you guys. So it's good that they do listen, and I've given them the benefit of the doubt multiple times. You know, I mean, I try to reach out to them, or at least did once when they did their live stream, and they seem like they do try, but then at the same point in time, they do other things that make me know that they're lying. And that is just the inconsistency in data, right? Like, I want to trust Rtings a lot. I do, but I can't because I know better. And I know better when you attach affiliate links to everything and you don't tell people the Nano series, for example, is a really bad line of television, and you shouldn't be buying it because literally for the same money, there are so many other things. They shouldn't ever recommend that TV to anyone because it is a bad TV, but they don't. And that's not hate for LG. That's just a fact. Another thing I've noticed is that they will glow about OLEDs every year and they'll get the highest spots, even though they have really low peak brightness. And TVs from the LED side of things that have a similar level of brightness, regardless of how the black levels look, get docked for not having good brightness. So it's a double standard here, and it's unfair. And they constantly do little things like that. And LG OLED specifically always is their best TV every single year. That's not an accident, especially when they're listed on manufacturers' websites and they're listed on product listings as a source to help market that product, guys. They are in the business of affiliate marketing heavy. They are very rich, and they've gotten rich off of selling lies. And look, that's their business. They've got children to feed. People suck. Fuck people, right? Why should they look out for others? I understand that. It's a business. They're here to give you some of the accurate information, and hell, if they step on a couple of toes, what's the harm? Because most people won't call them out. And especially people without clout. I mean, who here has a massive following? Who here has, you know, the resources to call out somebody like Rtings? Not very many people, right? But I do. And I absolutely made it a point to call out Rtings over the years. And this is why I do it. People like Matt Jones, who literally believe that they're unbiased. They're not getting these cherry-picked units. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not listed on a manufacturer's website, literally Sony's website, because you're this unbiased guy that buys all your TVs. I'm just saying that right now because you can't do that right now if you started TV reviews. I can't do it after half a decade of starting TV reviews because I only care about massive influencers that will influence buying decisions and drive a drove of traffic to that website. That is how affiliate marketing works, brand marketing, marketing in general. If you can drive traffic to their website, that increases their overall revenue. That foot traffic is valuable. They're going to push those people to the ends of the earth. That's why you have the Vincentios of the world. That's why you have the Caleb Dennisons. You're going to have this in the AV space. And I'm so sorry for anyone that maybe doesn't know this or feels like this is just jaded or I'm just doing this to throw shade. Listen. The Hisense H9G got a good review, and also I want to throw this out there, people thinking that I'm just shilling for Hisense. They aren't getting any more credit than what they've earned. If you watch my H9F video when I unboxed it, I started out not liking it because, honestly speaking, it wasn't great. And after seeing it, after turning it on, it did better, and that was the H9F. This year was even better, but I still hated some things like the terms of service. So every time I review these TVs, I always break apart things so it's easy for everybody to understand. Could I get technical and make it hard for everybody to understand? Yes, but I want a low barrier of entry so that everybody can literally just dive right into my videos, understand exactly what the hell I'm saying without all that tech talk, and get the job done, right? And so honestly speaking, guys, this isn't like to plop up or fluff up my credibility. This isn't to attack anybody. This is to explain to you exactly why I don't, quotation mark, worry about myself and my content. You know, that claim I've gotten every time I've made a point that was a little too hard for the industry purists out there. You know, every time I've made a point, it's always been worry about yourself. Don't do this. This is distasteful, even if it's right. You know, it's people that don't want others held to some standard. And being a professional that can speak to those numbers, because I understand how to read those charts and graphs, I understand how to explain it to everybody else in a very simple manner, I guess. And that part really bugs a lot of these guys that don't want this stuff out there, right? And so my point being is that no, they are not being on the up and up. They did put out misinformation. I didn't want to make a video about them, but I do need to show that part off. And again, it's odd because I ended up making a video about it anyway. But the point being this, Rtings is not my friend. They are not my ally. And when people think that I'm, what is his exact quote here? He says that keep fighting the good fight, but don't tear down your allies. I'm going to make it very clear, Rtings.com is not your ally. They are not your friends. They are not looking out for you until they start telling you what I tell you. Don't buy bad TVs. They can say don't buy a bad TV if they're honest. If they're dishonest, they're biased, they're in somebody's pocket, they need some commission of some sort, they're going to make sure that even if a TV is shit, you still find some value in it, because that's how affiliate marketing works. And I have to keep explaining this throughout the years for all my new subscribers and people who bump into this information, because honestly speaking, it's not an easy topic to digest, and you'll never know about all this influencing bullshit unless somebody takes the time to explain it to you. And it goes far deeper than this. I could do a whole 3-hour live stream on it, breaking down literally to the science. I mean, this is not the only industry that does this, by the way. The fashion industry, now Amazon drop shipping, day trading, like a lot of stuff like this. A lot of entrepreneurs are faking data. They go into code and they change numbers and graphs around, lie about how much money they've made in a single day. Like, bro, I could show you shit that would blow your mind. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I love talking business with a lot of successful people, but at the end of the day, that's real life stuff, right? When we're talking normal everyday stuff, why I started the channel, this is why. Very long-winded, but that's kind of how I am, I guess. So I hope this explains it for everybody, and thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.